Hello and welcome back to another episode of Nightingale Plays Factorio. Buses, planes, trains, and automobiles. And look, we're venting! We're venting hydrogen! So I changed the setup a little bit, decided I wanted something that was scalable. Now it can vent quite quickly. So we can see the oxygen had dropped below 500 and hydrogen was above 2000, and so it vented. So I had to pick up a bunch of nickel to make that actually trigger, but I know it works now. So we can move on to other things. So next up, we're actually going to fill up the other side of this with carbon because we're going to use that in our lead production. So carbon, coal, and water. Okay, so coal. Okay, so we're going to output directly onto this belt. So before we bring that down, let's make sure we know what we're doing. It is in a red furnace. 10 always seems like a good number to start with. How quickly can we produce carbon? 2 carbon every 2 seconds. 10 carbon a second. Feels a little bit light. Let's do 16, say. Okay, so chemical furnace. It's going to need a water input and a coal input, and the carbon output, obviously. So let's see, something like that maybe. Then we can do so if we do that, they'll have one space between them, which I'm quite happy to live with. Yeah, let's go with that. And actually maybe we'll put the water up here. So let's do a water pump right there. So that'll be what starts us off. And so now we're going to need to input, I guess we'll use a fast, what are we taking in? 1 coal. Yeah, so we'll use the better, more efficient inserter for the output. Okay, so this is going to be our coal. Then we need FAR inserters. Except we don't have enough electronic boards. Oh well. We'll build what we can. There we go. Oh, and we're out of underground. Okay, well, let's go get some more. We'll get some more regular circuit boards, underground belt. I don't need this kind of underground belt. That's the silly kind. All right, you can go into there. How are we for regular belt? Oh, we're pretty much out. And splitters, where are we? 17 splitters. Yeah, we need some splitters too. Pick up the electronics. Yeah, so this can probably go away. We'll deal with that later. I just picked up a whole ton of stuff. Let's see, got silver ore, tin ore, nickel ore. Drop all those off. We're almost got logistics trash slots. Stop doing whatever you're doing. All right, stone can go in here. Where's our other ores? Galena. Go in some chests up here. Nickel goes in chests on the other side. Anything else we can dump? Tin. Tin is these ones. Zinc and silver. Those aren't particularly going anywhere right now. Okay, so we got a water pump. He's pumping water in. You're doing that. You should be outputting. There we go. We got our carbon production. do a couple more and then move on to the actual lead itself. I have no idea how many I built and how many I'm actually going to be able to hook up. Looks like 8 more. One shy. That's okay. Where are we putting these? At the top seems fine. Okay, oh, recipe. Go. That looks pretty good as is. Okay, problem, carbon. Okay, I just realized I did this wrong. I want the carbon to go over here. So these, damn. So if I do those ones, okay, so let's start changing this up a bit. So now the sides are all messed up. You can go over there. You can go over there, and we'll try and get the carbon on this side. All right, I'm gonna pause the video, get some more resources, and clean this all up. All right, rather than trying to switch sides on this line, I took a look at the inserters, and it's the fast far-handed inserter that I needed. So it's far-handed because it's just further than the regular inserter. I think that's where the naming comes from. So the close side of the far belt. And yeah, so they filled up the belt pretty darn quickly, and we got this one filled out, and now we can do whatever it is we wanted with carbon. We wanted to do, okay, so we're on to lead production. So we need carbon, nickel, lead oxide. So lead oxide is going to be galena and oxygen. Okay, so lead, it doesn't matter where lead goes down, so we'll just start with lead oxide and move on from there. So lead oxide, galena, and oxygen. So we will bring, and sorry, that happens in a chemical plant. Oops, yep, chemical plant. Do we have any? Nope. Let's just do 4 for now, because I'm going to run out of electronic circuits, and then I can copy it after. All right, lead, galena. Oh, up there. There it is. Okay, so it's going to come in right here. Okay. Not quite. Let's just keep checking this recipe. And then we're going to need oxygen, and we're going to do it all in one of these. Okay, so one of the outputs is going to be sulfur dioxide, which I don't want. However, we can use that to create still more sulfuric acid. So let's do that. We'll have another sulfuric acid storage area. And we're going to have to start making some batteries soon, so we can actually use this stuff up. Okay, so let's do that. So how much? Okay, so let's think a little bit about ratios here. So we need 2.5 sulfur dioxide in half a second. So 5 per second in one. This is going to produce 1 every 2 seconds. So half every second. So 10 lead oxide producers into 1 sulfur dioxide consumer. Okay, so 10 to 1. So we can just have, we'll do 10 and that'll be our repeating pattern. We need to find our chemical plant, I do believe. We'll do that this way. So you are a sulfuric acid, this one, sulfur dioxide and water. Okay, so you can just get your own dedicated water pump, I suppose. Don't have one. There you go. Okay, so that's perfect. That doesn't take up extra space. You get water, and you can't continue up, which was going to be a bit annoying. So just so it's easy enough. Actually, we don't need to copy it up. This will take everything from its chain. Okay, and are going to have to pipe this up though. Okay, so once you start getting your inputs, you can go into here, and then you can go out into, whoa, not what I wanted at all. Thankfully that didn't mix up any pipes. Okay, there we go. So the sulfuric acid bit is solved. Then going this way, something like that. I'm just thinking if this is the right place to put it. So you got your galena there coming in and oxygen. So if we put the oxygen here, go like that, that gives us room to put there just wasn't enough resources at the other base, so I didn't build nearly enough of these inserters. Okay, so you are getting everything you need except the oxygen. And once again, you are in a terrible spot. Something like that. Okay, so we need oxygen right there. So oxygen, red one. There we go. Got that solved. Except we went too far. There we go. Okay, so we want to stay out of the way of all this junk. So we put one here, then we can use the long inserter to output like that. All right, sulfur dioxide production. That'll get copied down. Except, key point, we need to dump that out. Okay, so it looks like it's working well. Pretty soon here we're going to hit an excess of sulfuric acid, and I'm just going to have to remove and replace this tank to dump it. I've got a lot of stuff that will start using it and hopefully use more than I'm producing from these two, which will make me do dedicated sulfuric acid production, but I'll do some fancy stuff with the combinators like I did over here, and it'll only produce when these ones get get close to empty. So it's just to top it off. If it's a different problem and I have too much, I'm not sure. There isn't a dump liquid type of thing that I'm aware of. So we'll have to figure out a way to solve that problem. All right, moving on. So now we're going to do lead production. So we're going to take our lead oxide. It's going to take a really, really long time. Wow. But it does produce almost 10. It's interesting that it's 8.5. I seem to remember reading on the wiki or something, it produces between 7 and 10 and between 0 and 3 of the silver. So it's not the same every time. I assume it's just random. Okay, so carbon nickel. So let's get our carbon nickel coming down, which I conveniently placed on the same bus. Okay, am I gonna, yeah, I'm gonna continue to need carbon and nickel. I'm gonna need a lot of it, so that, just go like that. Most of you could go boom, 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 boom. Really should start using the red splitters, but I need to get this electronics done so I can actually have red splitters. Okay, so ratio of these. So we're going to have 10 lead oxide producers, which are going to produce every 2 seconds 1 lead oxide. So times 10 every 2 seconds 1. So 5 lead oxide every second is what I'm getting. This will use 7 every 25 seconds. So 5 every 1 second. Yeah, the ratios are complicated here. Hard to do in my head. So in 25 seconds, so if I'm doing 5 every second, 5 times 25, 125. So if I've got 125 divided by 7 is 7, 7, 14, about 16. So I can get about 16 of these going or something like that, which is tricky because I have this going up. So why don't we go down instead? That would make a lot more sense. Okay, and so that means our first chemical plant is going to go here. You were a chemical plant, right? Yeah. No, you are made in furnaces, which means we're also going to need something to burn. Okay, so steel furnace, steel furnace. Don't see any. This I can just build lots. There they are. Okay, so one of these is enough to produce for more than one of these, but probably not 2. So if I have one there, this one will not, that's too high. Let's just start the first one here. This doesn't feel right. I don't think that's the right kind of furnace. No, you are made in, I don't even know what you are. I don't think I have you is the problem. Crap, crap, crap. Okay, so I think I need to do this one and then this later. Yeah, because you can be made in a metal mixing furnace. You need something special. I'm researching something that I'm never going to finish. All right, materials processing. Looks something like a furnace or something like that. Engine, logistics, advanced material processing. That gives you an electric furnace. That's what that looked like to me. So then that'll get you to electric metal mixing. Ah, that's probably what it was. It was an electric metal mixing furnace. And that's also what allows me to make this other solder plate recipe, which interestingly enough doesn't use lead. Okay, so electric metal mixing furnaces. Don't have them, so we are going to switch over and do this one, which I can do in a regular metal mixing furnace. Or sorry, it's a chemical furnace. Just make sure, yeah. It's probably because of the number of ingredients. This one also needs water. This one, both need water. Or no, it produces water. Oh, no, that's just the raw resources. I'm looking in the wrong spot. Neither of these need water. Lead oxide, carbon, nickel. Lead oxide, carbon. So I'm just a little bit worried in terms of how I'm going to space these. The electric ones are going to take up more room because I do kind of want to upgrade later. So I need to plan for that space to be used up, so I can't put any belts until here. Although I'm going to be able to drop the fuel. So if we put the fuel here and the output's going to go down there. That should actually work out. Okay, so fuel is going to be here. And the fuel can just be this one. All right, so there's our fuel coming in. So you're going to get fueled up in a sec. And then you're going to want two things. One off that belt and one off that belt. Okay, so what are you complaining about now that you don't have power? Well, that's fine. Okay, and then we need to output, which means you don't belong there. So if I put this there, I can power those, and that doesn't seem to be in the way of anything. So we'll do that, and we'll power this on that side, and somehow work it out. And that way we can output like that. Alright, so we got lead coming out. Open that up in a bit. Quite happy to just side load you and watch you go on. All right, so tin lead, that's going to be solder. Put that up. Deconstruction planner would be nice. All right, so I just got to scale this up. So yeah, once I have electric furnaces, I can put an electric furnace here. This coal line goes away completely, and then it'll just output straight onto that belt. And then we will need something else to pull away the silver as well. So I just need to make sure that I have room for that, because I'm going to need silver going up, which means these electric poles are kind of a pain, but I think for now I'm just going to leave them. So let's see here. Can't build these because I don't have iron. Okay, well, I'll go figure that out. I'll scale this up, and then next episode we'll be moving on to some real gosh darn electric production. I hope you've enjoyed this. This has been Nightingale. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to hit the like or subscribe buttons or leave a comment below. We will see you next time.